If you have a business, what is the one online tool that makes your life a lot easier as a business owner? I asked this question in a Facebook group and I got 103 answers. I will give you the list of the top 5 in just a second. I just want to let you know the most important thing I actually learned from this question before I go into that. So the most important thing I learned is that it all depends on you. The list, as you see here, was long. There were so many different apps and tools and stuff that people were mentioning, a lot of which I have no clue what is, but I can dive into it whenever I have the time, and you can too, of course. I will give you the list in the comments. I really learned that it all depends on who are you and what's your business. I will give you a bit more advice after my top 5 on how to figure this out. Top 5, which is actually probably a top 3. Number 3 to 5 actually got the same amount of votes. They got 5 votes each. Number 3. Asana is a project management tool that you can use to manage your projects and plan stuff. It has both the free version and a paid version. So if you're doing a lot of projects, especially if you're working with customers and stuff, Asana could be a really good thing to use. Another tool that also got mentioned was Trello. It's kind of the same for me. That's a bit more easy to figure out. But I haven't spent that much time in Asana. But Asana got the most votes in this particular survey, so Asana it is. The other thing that got 3 or 5 votes was bookkeeping software. So there were different kinds of bookkeeping software. The reason I piled these into one is that it depends on where you're based. So for example, if you're based like me in Denmark, there's a lot of different bookkeeping softwares that are very specific to Denmark and Danish law. So depending on where you're at, then choose whatever is available to you, right? And I'm actually kind of amazed that only 5 people were saying bookkeeping, because, well, it's probably because it's not a core base of their business in what they do, but it's a core base of having your company work, because you need to do your taxes and do your bookkeeping, right? So it is a really important tool. I do recommend using some kind of bookkeeping software. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so the third one that got 5 votes are Facebook. So Facebook, yeah, sure. A lot of people use that as a tool for their business. Okay, so number 2, I love this one, Google Apps. That's like, Google has so much opportunity and it's free. The only thing you need to pay is if you want more space, right? So you have Google Drive, you have Google Calendar, you have Google Mail, you have Google Keeps, you have so many different things, Sheets and Word and whatever it's called in Google. So you have all of your basic office things plus a lot more. So I definitely understand people choosing this. If you're getting any value from this video at all, I would love for you to hit the like and the subscribe, and remember the little bell as well, so you will get notified whenever I release new videos. So now, number 1 on the list, and I so agree, this is one of the tools I use the most, Canva. Yes, Canva is to make graphics. So I use Canva for all of my thumbnails for my videos, for example. I use Canva for a lot of the graphics in here. I use it to do PDFs for my membership groups. I use it to do posts for Facebook and Instagram and plan them. As a new thing, there's in the paid version of Canva, there's a planning tool so that I can just post it directly to my Facebook groups or to my Instagram, which is amazing. The paid version also has background removal, which I find amazing. But in general, the free version of it is also really, really good, and you can get a long way with the free version of Canva. These are the 5 tools that people mentioned the most in my little survey, so I hope this makes sense to you and you can get inspired by it. But as I promised, I wanted it to come back to whatever works for you, because my best advice for this would be figure out what works for you. Someone might use Canva, other people use Photoshop, or Google Apps versus Microsoft Office. Like I said, Asana versus Trello. There's a lot of different things to be using. So figure out what works for you. And when starting up especially, to figure out which programs and tools to use, figure out which ones are easiest for you, which ones are free. Start with the free versions, and then you can always upgrade when you have a better need. It's so easy to buy and buy and buy and buy and get a lot of expenses without really getting any income yet when you're new, especially. So figure out what is actually working for you of the free versions before you upgrade to the paid versions. And then figure out, and I think this is really important, how do you learn? So based on how you learn best, are you the kind of person who needs someone else to tell you how to do things? Are you better at learning if you have someone to teach you, like where you can ask direct questions and get feedback all the time? Are you better at reading to get the knowledge you need to do something, or watch YouTube videos, just get it in that way? Based on that, choose your tools, because if you are better at learning when you have someone sitting by your side or someone you can constantly ask questions, I would choose something where you know someone who uses those tools, someone you know you can call and ask if you have any issues. If you learn just as well just by using YouTube videos, then just choose whatever you find most compelling. The most important thing is, what will make this the easiest for you? What tools will help you build your business the best way possible, both in ease and in money? That's important. So that's it for today. Have fun and get shit done.